Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now June 17th of 2025, and given that the Meghan Markle backlash is only growing in numbers every single week, ever since she dropped that viral video on Instagram, that viral pregnancy video that completely backfired, not just on herself, but her entire team, and how she's viewed, not just by Netflix, but also by multiple studios within the Hollywood bubble. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about Meghan Markle is that we all know that she's on a very much, damage control driven train right now to really remain in the spotlight and the limelight, to really just secure her role as a so-called actress. And that's exactly why she's trying to get any deal that she can out there, whether it's a cameo or a short role or anything that will actually give her a narration role or an appearance on a television program or in a movie. And so far, that's working to no avail, and rightfully so. We know that everything that she has done before has been driven by her narcissistic behavior, and that's just how she is. Now, what's interesting about all of this has a lot more to do with the whole Meghan Markle situation going out of control as she actually tries to control the situation and how she controls, the overall backlash, and it's really not working at all in her favor. Let's get into this. Now, one thing about Meghan Markle's viral pregnancy video is that we all know that not only was it cringe, but a lot of people saw right through it about how phony it was, about how, truly desperate it looked to get attention on social media. We all knew that she could have posted this 4 years ago if she really wanted to, but she didn't. She just posted it now. Now, what's interesting about all of this is that with the Meghan Markle drama only getting worse behind closed doors after posting her viral video on Instagram, recently Meghan Markle went on yet another rant to defend her viral video post in the worst way possible that only backfired completely. Meghan delivered the following. When you're a mother, and especially a very caring, misunderstood mother from the public, it's very important to express yourself in whatever way possible in order to get your point across. And I mean, look, I have expressed myself in many different forms, either with my program on Netflix or through my brand as ever. But when it comes to social media, you just have this entire outlet to do whatever fits best for you with no committee involved. But what I witnessed recently is terrible behavior coming from the public, whether it's men or women, saying some of the worst things out there about being pregnant. And it's very important to defend yourself, especially when you're a mother and when you're sharing your personal life on social media. We need to put a stop to those loud voices that are coming from both uneducated men and women that have no idea what it means to be a mother. And there are many false narratives floating around out there about who the real Meghan Markle is. I don't think anyone understands who the real Meghan is, because I'm that type of mother that would relate to all that go through the hardships and the challenges of parenthood. It's about time that we do something about it, that we go against these toxic voices that do nothing beneficial to society. It's important to note here that more often than not, those that are new to parenting are just not educated enough to know anything about parenthood. Many of them just never really understood how to handle it for themselves, whether they are alone or with a significant other. But to actually label someone as phony for expressing themselves, I think it's phony behavior on its own. This is the type of behavior that we are dealing with on a daily basis, not just in the United States, but in the UK and even around the entire world. We are dealing with a new generation living in social media and holding no education about parenthood. But to criticize me for expressing myself on multiple platforms is hypocritical, because everyone does the same thing that I do. Now, what's interesting about this is the fact that she claims that everyone does the same thing that she does. I highly, highly doubt that. What she did was so out of this world crazy to the point that it was even mocked across mainstream media. Alright, so it wasn't just people on Instagram or here or Facebook or wherever it actually spread, beyond Instagram. It wasn't just on social media that this video was getting mocked. It was also mocked on mainstream media. Let that settle in for a moment there. So that just goes to show you that really everyone's just pointing the finger at that video and realizing about how inauthentic it looked, how desperate it looked to get attention, because, we all know that things are crashing and burning right now for Meghan Markle's career. And so she used that as a Hail Mary to kind of create a viral moment for herself. And she's expressed this before, that she's very proud about the attention that she's getting, because look, we know that there's a lot of simple-minded people out there that are going to love that video that Meghan Markle put out. In fact, there's a lot of people in the comments on different copies of the video on different platforms, not on Instagram, because as far as I know, the comments are disabled on there, but other platforms, people were actually rooting for her. Fans of Meghan Markle were rooting for that video. But let's get on from that. She goes on to conclude, everyone is on social media in this day and age. That's just how it is. So it gets exhausting when you hear complaints coming from the typical sexists and misogynists that really don't know what it means to be a parent and how to have fun being one. And we are going to discuss parts of that in our next season for With Love, Meghan, that goes over the importance of parenthood. I think everyone will finally get the education that they need while also being entertained with a new story. I just feel American citizens need to work harder in their daily lives. They need to stop being so lazy and do something productive that gives them inspiration. Now guys, let me just stop there. Alright, the fact that she has the gall to say that American citizens are lazy, especially those that are new to being a parent, are lazy, and how they need to actually get the education that they lack of. Look, she doesn't know anybody, right? She doesn't know anybody that's actually in the public, and I think what she's doing right now is projecting. I think that she's projecting a lot. I think what she's really saying is that, I'm uneducated. I really have no clue how to be a parent, and I really am very phony and inauthentic and not educated. And she's projecting, I think, when you really look at everything at a point-by-point basis on what Meghan Markle's been putting out there. All of her points are just so out of this world crazy, to the point where it just makes you wonder, how in the world did this actual woman get a deal with Netflix, a $100 million contract deal that more than likely, hopefully, will actually end by this September. We know that she is still pressuring Ted Sarandos, the other CEO at Netflix, to actually create a season 3 and to actually renew the contract over at Netflix. I'm telling you, there's something going on between Meghan and Ted. I don't know what it is. We quite frankly may very well never know what's going on there. But we all know Greg Peters, the other CEO, is totally against Meghan Markle. He wants nothing to do with her ever again. In fact, he wants to get past season 2, call it quits, and just close the book on her contract deal and move on to another different personality that could contribute something better to Netflix. So again, what's interesting about this is the fact that, sure, you're getting a lot of criticism, Meghan, but at the same exact time, you would think that if you want to actually better yourself a little bit, you may want to take the video down at the very minimum, even though that there are millions of copies out there. We all know that Netflix and other various studios pressured her to take down the video, and she didn't. She refused, and that's exactly why she dealt with a lot of consequences. There were a lot of ramifications that came as a result of that, and that's just that. That's how it rolls. So we know that, other personalities have acted like that out before, and it didn't work out well for them in the long run for their career. Overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about Meghan's upteenth rant about her viral video about her being a mother, etc., etc. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, and if you guys also would like to comment below in the comments section about Meghan's overall scenario here, I would like to hear about that, and I'll catch you guys later.